Hello, welcome back to Amble's Tarot. I'm going to be doing a reading for Taurians for July 2018. I'm going to be using my normal 3 cards, the Messenger Oracle, the Art of Tarot, and the Dreams of Gaia. Apologies, it's a bit later in the month. Once again, I missed the start of the month for all of my videos. First card I'm going to draw is the Messenger Oracle. The Messenger Oracle card is the overall message for the month of July. Something to just keep in mind right through the month. Should help inform all of your thoughts, decisions and actions, and enable you to progress through with the best possible outcome for your spiritual growth. And the Messenger Oracle for Taurians for July is time to ground. So what does that mean? What is grounding? Grounding is reconnecting to earth energies. Okay, so this message for Taurians for the month of July indicates that July is going to be a tumultuous month for Taurians. You may feel confused. You may feel unfocused, unable to concentrate on any specific thing. And your life may feel like it's surrounded with chaos and turmoil. These periods in our life are necessary. They are the symptoms of change. Changing those around us, changing ourselves, changing our realities in the way we think and perceive the world around us, and the way that others perceive the world around them. We each have our own realities, but they interconnect. We influence each other every moment of our lives, and therefore we influence each other's realities, and together, collectively, we create the reality in which we exist. So these times in our life may be difficult and challenging, but they will find it much easier to get through them by connecting to earth energy, by connecting to Gaia, and connecting to the source within. This means taking whatever moments you can this month and simply being still. Being in moments of tranquility and peace, and sending your awareness inside of yourself. Seek that void within, the place within that the emotions are gone, that the thoughts of the chaos and turmoil around you are irrelevant, where you can simply be at peace and be still. You may find it helpful to visualize such a place, maybe floating in a pool of still water or a warm bath. Have a warm bath with candles around you in dim light, just to simply relax. Go out into nature. Appreciate the sounds and the sights and the smells around you. Be grateful for your life and your existence and everything that's around you. Visualize deep roots coming down from the soles of your feet into the earth, and like a tree drawing up energy into you. All of these visualizations are tools, because what we think, what we see in our mind actually is real. It affects us on an energetic level. This will go a great way to helping you cope with the rapids of this month. But instead of being like a tumbling stone being thrown this way and that as you're traversing these rapids. Instead, you will be at peace, laying in a beautiful lilo or dinghy and simply riding the surface of them. So the next cards I'm going to draw for Taurians for July are the tarot cards. Okay. The next cards will be the Dreams of Gaia. By the way, if you feel you want a personal reading, you can message me, email me. My email address is on the About page and it's in the description of the video. Or you can join Discord and find me on there. So the first two cards we have for July is the King of Pentacles paired with the Maiden. It's looking in the wrong book. Doesn't help. Okay. These two cards together suggest that there are problems arising in your life at this time, the beginning of July. These problems could be related to money in some way, something either in terms of finances or in terms of income, or a problem. There is a problem in some way, and it's related to something of financial value to you, value to others. There are issues to be solved. The King of Pentacles is a card that suggests that you are going to solve these problems. You can solve these problems. The King of Pentacles heralds the energy that problems will be solved, and those problems are to do with something of financial value or money or income in some way. These problems will be solved effectively, so have faith in that. The Maiden suggests that this problem solving, whatever situation this is related to, is indicating that this is a period of change, a transitional period in your life. The warning there is self-sabotaging behaviour. All too often we listen to others in our lives. We listen to advice, to comments, to criticisms from others about us, about our situation, about others, and this can lead to self-sabotaging behaviour. And what I mean by that is behaviour that you're almost stopping yourself from achieving the best outcome. Now is not the time to listen to others. Now is not the time to listen to criticism or restrictive advice that's going to hold you back, that is couched in a term of being helpful. If you are surrounded by people or there's a person in your life that's very critical of you, whether they're verbalizing it or you just sense it, protect yourself at this time. Remember the time to ground card. Seek that void within. Seek that stillness. Surround yourself, visualize yourself in a shell of peace, so that the energy of others that are not helpful to you at this time are not going to be able to get in and into your energy and affect how you're thinking and behaving. If you have any ideas about how to progress in your life, there's any seeds of thoughts about new directions or changes, now's the time to express them. Now's the time to bring them out. If they've lain dormant for some time, now's the time to bring them out, dust them off, see how they fit in your current reality, your current life, and begin to take the steps, or at least think about how to manifest that into reality. Now is a time of, as I said, transition, where almost like the child you is becoming the teenage you. You are starting to become more independent and self-aware, less reliant on others. Now, this could be in a financial sense, it could be in a physical sense or a spiritual sense. But this is a time, if you follow the advice and take the time to seek the void within, time to ground with nature and feel that energy to recharge yourself, then this is a time when the bud is beginning to grow, the bud that will become your destiny, the destined version of you in your reality. The solving of this issue to do with something of financial value to you will be a catalyst of change that will clear the way, allowing you to be better able to see a new path and manifest the person, the reality that you wish to manifest. Just remember to have faith in yourself. The next two cards, we have the Seven of Earth reversed, paired with the Empress. Okay, so both these cards together indicate a good week in around about the second week of July. You are feeling domestically that this problem has been solved and things are settling down. You're feeling good about your finances, or this issue with connected to finances. Things seem to be calm, things seem to be going smoothly on our financial and domestic front at this time. The second week of July could indicate pregnancy for some Taurians. It definitely indicates positive relationships, that this is a time to concentrate on the relationships in your life. If there are any that have been less than positive, then a relationship is only as good as the energy you put into it, as well as the other person. Perhaps you've been focused so much on this other problem, you've neglected some relationships, and now's a good time for you to refocus energy in those relationships. It's a good time for you to spend time with family and friends, for you to step out away from the computer, away from your phone, away from your computer games, and actually be in the physical presence of other people. Because connecting with people online is essential for many people, and it's a very good learning tool, but it's not the same as being in the physical presence of somebody, where you can feel their energy, where you can see them, where you can hug them, where you can hold them. Perhaps now's a good time for you to recommit to the relationships that perhaps have been a little neglected recently, for you to really listen to other people, for you to just confirm to people that you care about them, that you love them, that you understand them, that you may not agree with them, but you understand. Remember, when you're doing this, to be mindful of your impact on others around you, how your energy, the way you speak, the thoughts in your head, how are you perceiving, whether you're listening, whether you're using active listening, whether you're really hearing what's being said, whether you are feeling their emotions, whether you are, or whether are you being critical, or are you listening to that voice inside that's telling you spiteful things about other people. Be mindful about how you behave towards both yourself and to others around you at this time, because this is an ideal energetic time for you to really invest in relationships, to really reconfirm them in a positive way, in a mindful way. Remember to embody the energy of forgiveness at this time as well. Don't allow any past thoughts or past transgressions on your part or other people's parts to affect your relationships at this time. Whatever has gone by before, if they are meaningful relationships, it is the core value of those relationships that's important, not the nitty-gritty of what's gone on in the past or present. And then the next cards for this month, we have the Father, paired with the Hermit. Okay, so in the 3rd week of July or thereabouts, after you have spent time reconfirming and connecting physically in the physical presence of friends and family, something is going to occur that is going to force you into a situation where you need to be withdrawn from those relationships, or you need to seek advice or counsel outside of that circle. Don't be concerned, because there are times in our life where we need to withdraw a little bit, where we need to think about what we have learnt. Through the 2nd week of July, you will have learned a lot from reconnecting and spending time with family and friends that you may not have done previously because of a problem related to finances that has taken your focus. The 3rd week of July is a self-reflection week where you are going to be integrating what you have learnt in the 2nd week, where you are going to be processing what's happened, what you've learnt. And it's a time where you need to look within yourself a great deal. Be careful what you say and do in this 3rd week, because the cards are indicating that discretion and privacy are important this week. That means that you need to be careful what you say and what you do. Guard your thoughts. Really understand your thoughts and really understand where your emotions are coming from before you express them this week. Observe others around you. Try to understand how they're feeling and where they're coming from before you become critical of others at this time. The Father energy this week is indicating that there is a risk that you may become a little bit too bossy this week. There's an element of over control where there is a tendency in you to want to control something where that is not the best course of action at this time. Your role this week in some aspect of your life is to be a teacher, it's to be a guide, somebody that is supporting somebody else's progression and growth, not taking hold of them and forcing them along the path that you think is best for them. Everyone needs to make their own mistakes. Everyone needs to learn from their own mistakes. That doesn't mean they will learn, but they need to experience those mistakes. If they're not learning, they'll simply repeat the same behaviors until the penny drops. Or it's very frustrating sometimes when you can see the problem and you just want to help somebody by telling them, but if they're not ready to listen, their ears are going to be closed. They're not going to really be absorbing what you're saying or understanding what you're saying. Now is the time to help guide, to support somebody and to teach, but not to tell them. You may need to, at this time, impose discipline in some area of your lives. The father figure embodies an element of being a disciplinarian, that there is an importance of discipline towards yourself or somebody else at this time. If it's yourself, you may need to impose limits. You may need to do right lists and to give yourself instructions to guide yourself at this time. But if it's somebody else, perhaps it's you need a friend or a child or a colleague or a parent, there is an element there you need to impose limits. This could be limits in how they're treating you. I will accept that. I won't accept that. It could be if it's somebody that you're in a parental position for, that you need to impose limits to guide them. With children, it's important to allow them to make their own mistakes, because otherwise they're not going to learn. And even if they don't seem to learn, they keep repeating the same mistakes. It's important to allow that to happen. However, what we do is we place boundaries so that we are not constraining them, but guiding them and protecting them so they don't go too far with those mistakes. Whatever the case may be, whether that be with friendships, with connections with family members, with relationships with a child or a parent, in the third week of July, there is a sense that you need to put down boundaries, that you need to impose a disciplinary attitude in some way in a relationship, whether that's yourself or with others, and you need to withdraw from relationships in the third week, because there is a need for you to use self-reflection to understand something better, for you to really process what's going on and understand before you can move forward again. And it may be that you need to seek guidance and support yourself from somebody that's removed from a situation, or somebody you trust who can help you, and that may be somebody that's outside of your normal circle. However, the answers always lie within you, and that again returns us to the Oracle card, Time to Ground. You can seek the advice and the wisdom within you, in the void within. And the last two cards we have for the month is the Magician, paired with Reverse Wisdom. Okay, the last week of the month indicates that you are going to discover information about a situation or a person that's previously been hidden. It's hidden knowledge. It indicates that hidden knowledge is going to be revealed to you. This could be knowledge about yourself that's been hidden, that your self-reflection in the third week is revealed to you. It could mean that you've gained insights into somebody else or a situation. This knowledge is going to shake you a little bit. It's going to, it could instill a feeling that you're out of control and you don't know how to handle a situation or how to go forward with it. Just be mindful, consider everything that you learn this month, and especially towards the end of the month, in a positive light. Look for the positivity, look for the lesson, look for the growth. You may find yourself at this time being critical by employing your shadowy aspects. Perhaps you will react with unkind words, uncharitable manners towards yourself or others or the situation. Don't beat yourself up about this. Accept this as a natural response to a situation that has occurred. Sometimes we need to employ our shadowy self, and that is a helpful tool in situations rather than a hindrance. Sometimes these actions of ours are part of a greater plan for ourselves and others in our lives, to guide people or shock people into a different way of thinking and perceiving themselves and others and their behaviors. So if you find yourself at the last week of the month or thereabouts, after discovering something that was previously hidden or obscured, reacting in a way that you might afterwards regret, let it go. Don't let it fester. Don't let that feeling of regret or guilt fester within you. Just accept that that was what has happened. That is how you behaved, and there's a reason for that. That it can have a positive impact sometimes. But this is an opportunity now for you to analyze your own responses. Why did you react in that way? What is it about you and inside of you that caused you to condemn something that was revealed? A person's behavior, a situation, something about yourself, something that you condemned about yourself or others, something that you disliked, something that caused a fear response, an anxiety response. Perhaps it is there is an old wound that has only been scabbed over, and this situation has removed that scab. Perhaps there is a buried worry or anxiety in you that this situation has revealed. Our own behaviors and emotional responses always reveal hidden gems of knowledge about ourselves. And the key to gaining wisdom through our experience in life is to learn about ourselves. Because if we learn about ourselves, we learn about Source, we learn about God. So now this is an ideal time for you to learn great knowledge about yourself that you didn't know before, that you didn't understand before, especially if this is a repetitive response. If you always find yourself responding to a situation in the same manner, perhaps you become angry or fearful or anxious or overly critical or dictatorial. That is an ingrained response to a situation, that is a learnt behavior. And the way to challenge that is to go back within to find the source of that behavior. What point in the past did that begin and why? Once you are aware of why you are responding, how you are responding, you can then take the necessary steps to change that response in the future, because suddenly you become more in control of your own responses. As the wisdom card reversed says, the darker aspects of your nature can often be your greatest teachers. And while the truths revealed may sometimes be harsh and uncomfortable, they bring with them the power to heal and empower. The final message is to have faith in your own abilities. You are in control of yourself. You have the potential to be in control of yourself. You have the potential to create a reality, a life that you desire. Our purpose through living is to learn how to be in control of ourselves and how to do that. And these times in our lives are great times where we can learn something about ourselves, so we will be more in control of ourselves in the future. You have massive potential, we all do, and you must believe that in order for you to realize it, for you to bring it out. As the magician says, have confidence in your ability to manage your life at all levels. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. You are blessed with energy and the support of those around you. Remember that there are people around you who are there to support you. They may not agree with you, but they're there to support you. They love you. Don't ignore those relationships when you need support. Regardless of what's happened before, allow all recriminations to go. They are there, they love you. If they are a good relationship, that is a nurturing relationship, it doesn't matter what's been said and done in the past. When you are in need, they are there for you. Just always bear in mind that the answers you seek are within. They are there. It's up to you to find them. Don't allow your pre-programmed ideas and thoughts and perceptions cloud your own intuition. Be able to see through the narratives that were taught about who and what we are and what we can do. Have faith and belief in your potential. And that will free that potential for you to use, to manifest the situation, the reality, the life and the relationships that are going to be the best for your continued spiritual growth. And that's the end of the reading for Taurians for July. I hope you've liked the video and you find this helpful. As always, please like, share and subscribe. And I will see you at the end of July for August reading. And have a great month.